Okay, we're going to be talking about the levels of organization, starting from the most basic, simple thing to getting to extremely complex. And these are the levels of organization. So we have a list here of them: atom, let me move this, atom, molecule, organelle. These are non-living, but we need these to make up the first living thing, which is the cell. Then we have tissue, organ systems, organism, population, community, ecosystem, and biosphere. So first, what we're going to talk about are atoms. And atoms are the smallest non-living unit of all the levels. So it's the very, very basic, smallest thing we could have is an atom. So a group of these are going to make matter, and then another group of these put together are going to make molecules. Next, number two is going to be molecules. So molecules are joined together by a chemical bond. And these are just going to be little atoms that are joining up together. So they're like holding hands. So for example, if we think about water, water is made from H2O. H is hydrogen. I have two molecules of hydrogen, and O is oxygen. So I make this bond, and when I do that, I make water. Next up is organelles. And organelles are small parts that do different jobs in the cell. So we've already talked about this. You should be familiar with organelles. You know, we have the nucleus, which is the control center. We have the mitochondria that makes those ATPs. We have our photosynthesis, um, which gives us food to eat and oxygen to breathe. So these are very important. Each of them have a very specific job. Number four is going to be the first level of living things, right? And it's the building block of living things. So we talked about cells earlier. We have eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. And this is where life begins with the cell. Okay, next we have tissues. So now when we have cells that are similar in structure and function, so they're the same type of cells, they will join up and form tissues. So for instance, if I had a muscle cell and I have those together, I'm going to make tissue, muscle tissue. This is typically what you think of, you know, when you use your move body parts, that's your tissue. Um, so cells of similar structure and function together are tissues. So you're going to see how each one of these builds upon the next one. So a bunch of tissues together is going to work together and they will form an organ. Um, so for instance, if we looked at the heart, which is an organ, it's made up of muscle tissue because your heart is essentially a muscle that's pumping blood through your body. Okay, and then we have organ systems. So we have all these different type of organs and we have organ systems, and we've done this, we've studied this already. So we had the circulatory system, the recessive, uh, digestive, endocrine, all these different systems, and they work together in order to make an organism. So in your body, we have all these different systems that work together to make us. Now we have population. A population is a group of um, the same species. So for instance, when we look at this, we see a group of giraffes. So that's a a population of giraffes. So same with the zebras and the rabbits. Those are all populations. So like at school, we are a population of students, right? And then we are a population of teachers or admin. So we have, although altogether our populations are humans. Okay, number 10, we have what's called community. A community is a group of more than one population, more than one organism. So this would be like, for instance, in the Lion King, we have all different species of animals together, so they are a community. So we're only talking about the biotic part of it. And biotic is living, abiotic is not living. So we are looking at here at the living things that make up a community. And then we have 11, which is an ecosystem. And an ecosystem includes both biotic, which is living, so anything living, and abiotic factors, so anything that's not living. So if we look at the picture of the one on the top, we have mountains, we have ice, snow, we have the lake, we have the beautiful green valley there. Um, so the abiotic factors are the mountains, the actual mountains, the water, the snow, because those are not living. Maybe the soil, but biotic things are all the grasses and greenery we see, and there's probably animals in there as well. And if we look at the one on the bottom, we can see the biotic factors are like the deer, the frog, the fish, the turtles, all the plants. And my abiotic things would be like the water and any rocks that are in there. Those would be abiotic. So our ecosystem has both biotic living and abiotic not living. And then our last one is going to be biosphere. Our biosphere is just the outer portion of Earth where everything exists. So it includes everything in our Earth, all this stuff. So that is a lot of biotic and abiotic factors. Very good. So on to the next lesson. Thank you.